If you're thinking of selling your home, I have some advice for you. Don't list it. Yeah, you heard me right. Don't list your home. You may be leaving some cash on the table. Here's a clue. Pablo Picasso never listed any of his artwork. Neither did any of the great artists. My name's Cody, and I'm going to take you through my absolute sales program and show you the new way home sellers are maximizing their home's value. I bet you're a bit like me. You want to sell your home for as much as possible, and you want to control the terms of the sale. Check this out.
Rollo May, the distinguished psychiatrist, wrote a wonderful book called Man's Search for Himself. And in this book he says, the opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice. It is conformity. And there you have the trouble today. It's conformity. People acting like everyone else without knowing why, without knowing where they're going. Now think of it. In America right now, there are over 18 million people 65 years of age and older. And most of them are broke. They're dependent on someone else for life's necessities.
So I have some questions for you to consider. Can you tell me why you list your home the way you do? Why you use the photos you use, or the amount of photos? Can you tell me specifically why you list and sell your home the same way everyone else always has? Don't worry. I'm going to show you how to sell your home for top dollar without ever listing it traditionally. And my goal for you during this short time that we have together is to take away two things. Number one, the only way for you to sell your home for top dollar is to create a bidding war. If you aren't competing up, well, then you're negotiating down. And number two, the only way to create a bidding war is through creating Fomo in the marketplace. And where does the buyer's fear come from? It comes from pain. Pain that they won't act quick enough, or that someone's going to act a little quicker than them, or maybe somebody will pay just a bit more than they were going to offer. You see, you must create a bidding arena for these buyers to compete on so that A, you can define the actual market value of your property, and B, the buyers will feel comfortable increasing their initial thought value of the property and actually opening their wallets. Hey, if another buyer is willing to compete with them on price, clearly the value of the home's there. We have to remember that the value is in the eye of the beholder, not the appraiser. And through these two natural laws, we're able to direct a response that simply isn't happening in traditional sales. Now, this is really important, so I want you to pay attention. If I asked you to name one specific area of the sale that you would wish to control, you would probably pick the price of the sale, the time of the sale, or the amount of competition involved in the sale. Or at least most people would. And the good news is, with our program, you can control the sale. And controlling the sale, it begins with defining a specific timeline that the property will be sold on. We do this to increase traction, traffic, and participation, or what I like to call competition. With a timeline and restricted showing access, we're able to establish an arena for the buyers to compete on, which creates a massive sense of urgency, and it piques the buyer's FOMO. And when the buyer's fear of missing out is piqued, and you've defined a timeline for this house to sell on, you effectively establish an arena for the buyers to compete against each other on, without ever having to negotiate against them. So in my career, I've done a lot of things right, which is why I'm here talking with you. I even met my wife after successfully selling her parents, my now in-laws' home. And talk about a commission. Check out this photo of us getting married in Italy. But I've done a lot of things wrong as well. And that was expensive. And I want to save you from that. So after more than a decade of experience doing this, I've discovered these 3 things. The market value is elastic, which means that your home is worth something different today than it will be tomorrow or yesterday. I've also found that nobody knows if they're getting the actual market value for their home. I'm shocked at how many times I've had a listing agent ask me not to show their listing or place an offer on the property because they've already received too many. But what if we're going to offer more? Wouldn't that be in the best interest of everyone? From my experience, traditional listing agents just don't know how to handle a multiple offer scenario. You need a transparent platform to create an arena for the buyers to compete on. And the last thing I've learned is that buyers won't let the home sell for less than it's worth. So if your home's really worth $400,000 or $500,000 or $5 million, then the buyers won't let it sell for less than it's worth. Heck, a competition which starts a bidding war is your best chance at selling for more. This took me a lot of time and even more money selling homes traditionally to understand. And as I see it, you have 3 options. First, the hard way. List your home traditionally, test the market, hang in there for a while, and see what happens. Then switch brokers and try it all over again. Best of luck to you. Second, you could go the lazy way and just hang on to your home. Don't sell it. Let your kids or your kids' kids worry about that asset after you're gone. Or third, you could try a not so traditional marketing approach, which creates a sense of urgency and establish the fear of missing out in the marketplace, which will result in a quick sale for top dollar. So of these 3 options, what's going to be easiest for you? Well, as you can see, this is an easy decision to make. And why wouldn't it be? I'm offering you the chance to not only control the terms of the sale of your home, but to also create a bidding arena, which will drive the sale to top dollar while leaving the buyers enthusiastic and confident about the selling process. I'm going to share 3 secrets with you regarding selling homes. First, controlling the sale begins with defining a specific timeline that the property will be sold on to the best and highest offer. I told you earlier we do this to increase the competition involved in the sale. But some people may think, well, that's crazy. Why would you not define a price first? And that's an easy question for me to answer. It's because I don't like creating ceilings for myself. You see, I'm in the business of trying to set as many sales records as possible, and I simply can't do that when I create a cap for my product. Let me tell you a story about a beautiful luxury home in Mesa, Arizona that I sold. This home was on the market traditionally for almost half a year. And in that time, the seller had lowered the asking price of his home by $250,000. But he still had no showings, no offers, and no interested buyers. Oh, by the way, he was paying 2 mortgages at this point. So I was able to help him by taking it off of the traditional market, and then we relaunched his home with an absolute sales message and a timeline for his home to sell on. And we then carried out an intense marketing campaign that drove over 145 people to the home in 8 days. So of those 147 showings, we had 10 registered buyers and we received 12 offers on the home. This happened to result in a sale that shattered a 13-year sales record in this private community. Now, the second secret, it's with a timeline and a restricted showing access, we're establishing an arena for the buyers to compete on, which creates a massive sense of urgency and piques their FOMO. It also takes you out of the negotiation picture. Most people understand this best when I use the analogy of the empty restaurant versus the packed house restaurant. So pretend you're on vacation and there's two restaurants located right next door to each other. One's empty. It's like a ghost town. And the other has a line out the door. Which one do you want to eat at? So the best way to do this in real estate is to structure showing opportunities on a strict schedule. For example, I don't allow showings to happen unless it's on our predetermined dates and times. And why do we do this? It's because I want all of the buyers to see each other and gain the understanding that it's not just them in this game. Oh yeah, and these other buyers, they have just as nice of cars, clothes, and families as them. So this is going to be a competition, but one with a great opportunity. And third, unless you're competing up, you're negotiating down. Here's a real life example of what an arena of competing buyers actually looks like. You can see all of the bids come in live, and this is on a transparent platform. You can see where the bidding started and where it ends. But Cody, what if my house doesn't sell for as much as I'd like?
I was very nervous about doing the auction. I had a lot of people tell me, "Oh, I wouldn't do that." I was very leery, but I trusted just because Cody is so authentic and real. I trusted him, and I just felt like it was the right thing to do. And he kept reminding me, and I kept reminding me the entire time that I can accept, reject, or negotiate at any point in time. And the whole experience just turned out to be amazing. My home amazing. About 10% over asking price, and we had a lot of traffic. Cody went out and just really busted his tail.
So I understand that concern. I hear it a lot. But I want you to remember, I get paid based off the price of the sale. So we share a common goal in wanting to sell your home for as much as possible. And that's why I've established the bidding terms. So please focus on the top line. It says if the property does not meet the reserve, which is set by you, the seller, then the seller can accept or reject the high bid. So do you remember the property I told you about, Citrus Manor? Well, that happened to be the highest priced home to sell in the last 13 years in this community. However, the seller really wanted to set a reserve at $1.65 million for his home, which is clearly in his rights. So because our bidding did not meet the reserve that the seller wanted, we were able to negotiate with the high bidder to bring his offer up to the number that my seller wanted to accept. And we were only able to do that because we generated so many buyers with our auction message, which weren't present at all prior when the home was listed traditionally. So here's a quick CMA of the area just to prove my point. Of all these homes in the last 13 years that have sold, the one that we sold at auction with the auction message happened to sell for the most money possible. Okay, so I know you're busy, and so am I. And that's why I made this presentation as efficient as possible. What we'll need to do is schedule an appointment so that we can discuss your home directly and cover everything that you need to know, as each home is different and the program is tailored to fit the property, the community, and the seller individually. And I believe that all real estate professionals would agree that the hardest part about listing a property is getting people to the door. but I'm going to tell you about how we get 200 plus people to our listings in an 8-day period. And just imagine the look on your neighbors' faces when you sell your home in record time and had multiple competing offers. With an absolute sale, this is what you can expect. An arena of competing buyers, which will help drive the price of your home as high as possible. The ability to control all of the terms and the times of the sale. And when the market competes, you can actually prove and cement the market value of your home. The value's in the eye of the beholder, not the appraiser, and definitely not the tax district. And lastly, you get a successful closing because the teeth of our contracts and our platforms, they really sink into the buyers. So I'm sure you're asking, does this program work for me? Well, this is who it's worked for in the past. We've done this with luxury homes. We've done this with condos. We've done this with multi-family properties and your standard single-family home. When I first started, I only focused on luxury properties or unique homes. And now I had two decisions to make. First, I could have just stuck in the luxury market and only sold homes that were valued over $2.5 million. Or I could lower the barriers to entry for both the buyers and the sellers, and that allows me to start selling homes ranging from $300,000 all the way up to $30 million. So if all this program did was brought you a pool of buyers to negotiate with, would it be worth it? Oh yeah. If all this did was got you to your next dream home, would it be worth it? Yes. If all this did was generate a bidding war on your home so that you felt confident that you got top dollar, would it be worth it? Of course. So let me ask you a real question. If I were to meet or exceed your bottom line price, then would you accept an offer on your home? Are you ready to sell? If so, then let's get started today, and you can save 50% off of your average listing commission fee because I only charge you 1.5%. Now you have two choices. First, as a home seller, you can try listing your home traditionally. Test the market. Hang in there for a while and see what happens. Then switch brokers and try it all over again. Best of luck to you. Or you can try a not so traditional marketing approach, create a sense of urgency and establish the fear of missing out in the marketplace, which will result in a quick sale for top dollar. And I'm willing to bet you're going to love the results of an absolute sale. This is going to be the easiest home selling experience you have ever had. But hey, this is real estate. There is no silver bullet. So this is the only guarantee I will make you. If you don't like the results for any reason, I don't care if I exceed your price expectations by $1 million. You don't have to sell your home. You're in total control. Again, let me ask you this. Why are you selling your home the same way everyone else always has? And I understand that there's a lot of new things going on in the real estate world. But with this tried and tested method, remember, the city of Rome was actually sold at auction about 500 years ago. With this method, you get complete control. Here's how we're going to get the ball rolling. Go to chatwithcody.com and schedule a call with me so we can discuss your home specifically and see if this program is a good fit.